Got loads to get. Oh, we've got to do a welcome.
Don't have to.
Oh. Hiya! Thought it would be unconventional today. Make it look more, relaxed.
Look.
Here. Listen. I'm not with it today. Our 2-year-old son, he's not 2 yet, but he's nearly 2.
It's really going well so far. Our 2-year-old son,
sorry,
he's not 2.
He keeps waking up in the night.
Yeah.
And we're both a bit, I don't know.
Dazed and confused.
But don't worry, it's not going to affect our performance today.
The evidence so
Please
far
stay with us.
begs to differ. So here's the list. Do you want the list?
Go on.
It's a good list of games this month.
We've got loads.
It's more. I don't really remember playing. I do remember playing them all, but I don't know how.
You've had to play them all this month as well.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's such a shame for me to just have to.
It's just been
there.
a really busy month, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why it's been so full on, but it has been.
Go on then. So what have you played?
Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft. The one that I was very excited about, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
That's a mouthful.
It's a bit long. Astrobot, which is shorter. Squirrel with a Gun. Worst game I've played this year.
Wow.
And The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
So every time I say to you, why haven't you hoovered? Why haven't you cleaned the shower? It's because you're playing all these games.
What are you doing? Echoes of Wisdom. Before that, though, huge. This is a big announcement. No, it's not the Nintendo Switch 2. You know when you get news articles and whatever you've previously looked at sort of influences your algorithm.
Yeah.
Well, somebody thinks that I care about the Nintendo Switch 2 loads because every day it's like the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors, the Nintendo Switch 2 price confirmation question mark. All this.
It worked.
It's
My plan worked.
What, you're skewing.
Hinting.
Stop skewing my algorithm. No, but this is the PS5 Pro.
What
is coming? So the PS5 Pro, what is involved in the PS5 Pro? First of all, it's coming on November the 7th.
Just in time for Christmas.
They always do this, don't they? Do you remember when we got the PlayStation 5 and you actually made me wait about a month until my birthday to get it?
No, what's funnier
I was sitting there going, I haven't been made to wait since I was 5.
What's really funny is I think you had to wait because my mum had got you the controller, and then the best thing is I think it was the wrong controller or something.
No. What happened was, now I remember now. So I unwrapped a birthday present, which was a PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the PlayStation 5
funny.
for several more months.
Oh, that's
So then I had to sit there with just a controller. And then the PlayStation finally arrived.
So you literally sit there in the living room with your little play
just the
controller.
I think this happened once when I was a child at the age of about 7. I unwrapped a bag of sugar for my birthday, and I thought, why is this? What? And then I realised that one of the presents further down the line was a candy floss maker.
Oh,
but
right.
I opened it in the wrong order.
Oh, wow.
But imagine getting the bag of sugar and then having to wait a month for the candy floss maker. Okay. Anyway, so that happened in my life. Now this one, so you can pre-order it now.
Can you though? Because do you remember the fiasco of the PlayStation 5 when nobody could get their hands on one?
Yeah, not just that. The PS Portal took me about 6 months to actually get one. So you can apparently get them at the moment. The first thing to note is what's different about it. Well, the price, £700. Which I think is a significant
deep.
price.
Yeah.
And so this is what it does.
That costs more than my first car.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? And would it be more fun than having a car? Maybe, but not as useful in life.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's a bit more powerful. It has, it can have the capacity to play games with better graphics, to make them run faster. At the moment, there's a list of games that are already out that have a PS5 Pro upgrade available. So when the games come out, they will have better graphics, more performance. It says things like high fidelity. Often when you play PlayStation 5 games now, they're very complicated, and you can either choose a performance mode or a graphics mode. So it either has better graphics, but it stutters a bit, or it runs really smoothly, but sometimes the graphics drop off a little bit, and there's that trade-off. The idea is that the PS5 Pro doesn't have to trade off one against the other.
Oh, right.
It's got enough power to play, so far, this list of games, which includes things like Horizon, the latest Horizon game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is on the list here, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, I mean...
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, so the top games.
Gran Turismo 7. So, but the thing is, the list of games at the moment, there's only about 5 or 6 or 7 games on the list, which you can check out on the PlayStation blog online. I don't know if that is worth how expensive it is.
Because how much is a PS5?
Well, at the moment, a PS5 is about 500 quid. And there's a PS5 Slim as well. There's other versions of it, but I just think that is just so much money, isn't it? In this day and age, 700 quid.
Yeah, I can think of other things that I could buy for £700.
The graphics.
Is that it? Is that the only? Is that the main thing?
This is it. So the graphics are 45% better. It's got more memory, and it's got better ray tracing, which is things like lighting in games like in Spider-Man. The lighting shines off the building windows and stuff. And I don't know if it's going to make games better enough to worry about it. Like, if you really want it to look that good, you're starting to get into the price territory of buying a computer.
Yeah.
You know, once you're looking at about £1,000, you can buy a genuine gaming PC if you've got the space for it.
That's what you want to do with this office, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, consoles, I've always wanted a gaming PC, but that's why I've got the Steam Deck, because at least some of the games kind of work on that. But
yeah. How are you getting on with that?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
I probably play it more than anything I've got.
More than the Switch?
Way more. Because I can play things like Fallout 4 on the tube.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is cool, yeah. So I don't know, I think £700 for better graphics. You know, if you care that much about graphics and processing and stuff, you probably, now you're in the territory of just buy a PC.
So this is for the experts. This is for
people
the
who've got
pros.
too much money.
This is for the people that probably make money from gaming, rather than just like the likes of me and you, who just love gaming.
It's about like the Elite controller that I bought, which was like 200 quid.
Was that worth it?
No, you just don't need it. So anyway, that's available. Let us know your thoughts on that.
You can get in touch.
At Naked Gaming Pod, we're there. Oh, they've got to mention this one to you as well. Christmas is coming, right? So if you can't afford the PS5
£700.
Pro,
Yeah.
don't worry, there's something that's only £90.
Ooh, that's more my price range.
It's the Nintendo Sound Clock.
Sorry, what?
Called Alarmo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a clock which plays Mario sounds.
Are you joking?
And that's it. And it
I
costs.
need to see what this looks like.
It just looks like a really. It looks like a really.
Oh, that's so basic.
It's a red. It looks like a red.
It looks like a red bomb.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it?
It's got a little white thing at the top, and it's circular, and it's red and black, and it's got Mario in it.
Yeah, you can set an alarm, and it's a Wi-Fi powered alarm clock, and.
Wow. And that's it. And that is it. No, but wait. It says, "Wake up to a world of games." Well, that's a good slogan.
It's an interactive alarm clock, which doesn't.
It has a sensor apparently that reacts to your movements and will play sounds if you stretch your arms or roll over. Can you imagine if you're asleep and you roll over and it goes, Mario?
Yeah, that is what it does. Make waking up fun. It says. What I don't understand is it says how are there games? There's no. It says choose from 35 different alarms from 5 Nintendo games. Each alarm has unique sounds, visuals, and wake-up experiences. It's
to make waking up fun. I mean, maybe this will help with Theo when we're waking up. Yeah. But this is quite cool though. Once you're up and out of bed, right, your alarm clock will stop without needing to touch it.
I don't need an alarm clock.
Either
you
cool,
or a 1-year-old child.
Or it'll turn on sleepy sounds to help you wind down.
Or maybe that would be good.
Oh, wait, or choose firm mode for an alarm that gradually gets more intense the longer you stay in bed.
Mario.
We've got our own, it's Theo.
Mario!
The longer you leave it, the more aggressive it gets. There you go. We don't need to spend 90 quid. We've got one for free.
So should we do some games?
Go on then.
What do you want? Because you can pick from the list here. There's plenty to be getting on with.
I know you've boshed through these. Well, why don't you start with Star Wars?
All
Wars Outlaws.
Each of you represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, huts. It's a golden age for the underworld.
The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, but they're distracted by a rebellion that won't quit.
It's an opportunity to make millions.
So I fired up this game. It's a massive game to install, and the strap line, the tagline, as you're about to enter the world of Star Wars, is if you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunity.
Oh, I love it. I'm already there.
Now, it sounds good, but then you realise, hang on a second, it's quite a good slogan for the game because you're taking a risk by spending about 70 quid on this bad boy. 60. It's actually 60 quid. And yeah, there's opportunity, but it's also full of glitches.
Oh, wow.
And full of bugs. Way. And yeah. And the problem is, before I even started the game, the avalanche of bad reviews had exploded across the internet. And people were saying, compare this game. It's like a Star Wars open world-ish kind of game where you play as this rebel woman who's kind of trying to steal stuff and is living in the back streets of, living in the back of a cantina, all that stuff. And everyone was comparing it to Red Dead Redemption 2, which has been out for 10 years. And Red Dead Redemption 2 has a huge level of detail, and you can pat the horse, and you can do all these cool, awesome little miniature things. This game, you're like flying into people who are walking and smacking into them in the head, and they're just standing there kind of looking at you. And the stealth section.
That's really disappointing.
So the one unforgivable thing is that when you in games when you want to pick up an object or open a door or press a button, you press X or a button, right?
Yeah.
In this one, you push in the right analog stick.
No.
You click the stick.
No.
Now, I know I can just remap that.
That messes with your mind.
But that's stupid. So immediately...
That's a glitch itself.
I found myself, instead of opening the door, I'd jump on the spot.
Yeah.
And it was just fiddle to control.
And you think, why did you bother even making that instruction?
Who'd never played video games before has made this game.
Just going back to the glitches, I've got a question, and I don't know if you know the answer. But say you do spend £70 in the game, and it glitches all over the place, like this one. What is the refund process?
You can. It has been known. Usually, it's quite hard, but if you haven't played it for 50 hours and the company
I've completed it.
Yeah. It's a little bit like if you get delivered a bottle of wine and it's the wrong vintage, which happened to us. As long as you don't drink the wine and then say, it took me all the bottle to work out that I didn't like it was the wrong one.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Okay.
It is hard though. I've done it before with games
because it's a lot of money.
Because what you can say is I was missold. It looked like I was being sold a product based on the videos that looked smooth, and actually I've been missold. And you can do it.
Okay.
It's difficult, but you can.
Cool.
It doesn't even feel like a Star Wars game, and I think this is where this one goes wrong. Compared to Jedi Survivor and the recent games with Cal Kestis, with the awesome kind of over-the-shoulder lightsabers, there's no real lightsabers in this. Yes, you shoot the classic Harrison Ford gun that he uses in the films.
You want to see a lightsaber.
It's just not that fun. Yeah. And also, the company is blaming gamers and saying, well, your standards are too high.
Oh, wow.
And we're all sitting there going, 60 quid, mate.
Oh, wow.
That's a week's worth of shopping. You've got a little buddy, like a little rabbit thing, monster. It looks like Lilo and Stitch. Well, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's like you've got a little dude friend, which is probably the funnest thing about it. When you played Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And you struggled to move around.
I think I actually aged a bit playing Tomb Raider. I think when I was 18, I think I just suddenly shot up to 25 because it just aged me. It was so...
And now you're still 25. How does that happen?
I don't know. Because it was one of the best games, but also one of the most frustrating games. So was it fun to play?
I don't think I could find any fun. The stealth mode was probably the worst. There's space sections. That might be the most fun you can have. Anyway, I just can't recommend it, really.
What would you give it out of 10?
I mean, I did write down 3 out of 10 initially because of the space section, but I think it's just... I don't know. It's got to be 0. It's got to be 0 because you can't really have fun playing the game. It's out on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and it's £60 for the cheapest version. Can I tell you about Warhammer 40,000? This is your heart is going to sink here. You're like, I really don't care.
Go on.
So this is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Death comes from the void. We defy its cold embrace. We remain unbroken. Because we are the Space Marines. Numberless enemies surround us, leaving nothing but dead worlds and desolation.
I think that the best way to... It's like Harry Potter. The best way to interact with Harry Potter is in a video game format. The best way to interact with Warhammer 40,000 is not to sit there and roll dice, but to play this game.
Wow.
Because it's so fun. It's like it was designed to be played...
Really?
So you're a big Space Marine.
Yeah.
It's a third-person shooter, so it's over the shoulder.
Okay.
And you run around in massive power armor. And when you run...
I love that.
It's like when I've had so much pizza, and I'm get out the way. I need the cookies as well. It's like that. It's quite a simple game in that, you know, these alien things, the Tyranids, will run at you in massive swarms, and you can shoot these thousands of things running at you, and one of them will jump out and try and attack you, and if you press the right button, you slice them with a chainsaw to the side.
Cool.
And
wow,
you just feel
you
like...
wouldn't expect that in Warhammer.
Well, it's not as a dynamic game, is it, when you're rolling dice and saying, oh, I rolled a 3+, but my armor's stronger than that.
Hey, don't take the mic. It's big. It's
I used
popular.
to play it. Oh, I'm not taking the mic. I used to play it.
Oh, you can then. You
and
can
Henry
say that.
Cavill is also going to be starring in a film about Warhammer soon. It's good graphics. It could be a little bit crisper. This is if this game was upgraded to work better on the PS5 Pro, it would be able to handle either, because this has a performance or quality mode.
Right.
So you either play it and it lets the thousands of things run at you, or you choose the graphics, but then it slows down a little bit. The only thing that lets it down a little bit is the acting. It's very like one note.
Right.
Your Space Marine is like, I am a very serious Space Marine, and I am here to kill aliens. And then your friends are like, I am also a Space Marine, and I've been shot in the head, but I will still continue to fight for the Emperor. It's a very serious kind of story, but it was really, really fun. And also the best thing is you can play it with two other friends, if you have friends, online. I don't have any friends. So you can play this 3-player co-op, which is really, really fun. You can also do a sort of versus mode where you go head-to-head. I think it's 4 versus 4, which also was fun for about 20 minutes. So I really, really enjoyed that, and I would say the gore is good, the battles are good. You're selling
it to me.
It's an 8 out of 10 experience.
I would never have thought of playing this game, but you've sold it.
It's really good. It's 55 quid, and it's out on Xbox, it's out on PlayStation, and it's out on PC.
Power up.
Sorry, there's a lot of talking for you in this one.
I've played more. Don't worry, I've got more for you.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
The next 2 are good, and then the last one's rubbish.
All right. Tell me about Astrobot. This sounds intriguing.
Of all the games, I know that I made Space Marine sound like you'd love it, but you would really love Astrobot. So do you remember when the PlayStation 5 first came out?
Yep.
Without the Pro, just the normal standard edition, and it came with a little side game. It was like Astrobots, I don't know, it's called something like World or something, can't remember. And it was a free game, and it was just a demonstration of how the controller worked. So it was like, if you squeeze the trigger this hard, you climb up the wall, and it vibrates if you do. It was a nice little platforming game, a little bit like Super Mario 64 and some of the classics. So that was the tech demo, but it was so good. They made it so unbelievably well that now they've actually brought out a sequel for £60 that
I love this.
Is based on the first game.
This is great.
So you start off in a PlayStation 5 spaceship.
Awesome.
As Astrobot, and then you're flying around space, and then you crash it on a planet, and you have to go and collect all your mates to rebuild the big PlayStation 5 spaceship.
Wow.
So it's already going out of date because the PS5 Pro's coming out. But
I like to think of like the person who got like given that little small task of just making that little mini sub storyline. I can imagine the boss going, actually, mate, that was awesome. Can you make a whole game about it? Yeah, of course.
So this is that whole game. It's the sort of game which all generations will enjoy because the graphics and the challenges are enough for a more serious gamer like me. It's got the Crash Bandicoot vibes. It's got, Ratchet and Clank.
Sounds
it's that
right up my
whole
street.
thing. The graphics are fun. It could be one of Theo's first games that he plays. That's what we're looking at here.
I mean, Theo can't even feed himself yet, but yes.
You'd be surprised though. He can get on that.
They'll be like PS,
Kindle Fire. He can do the Amazon Kindle.
12 out by then.
Yeah. And we'll be buying them all. But anyway, it's one for all the family, £60. A little. I just think the price point is a little bit high, but then again, I suppose that's the age
Look,
we
I was
live
so
in.
shocked. My headphones came off.
Stop kidding around. Snake?
Well, this is the last good one, and then there's a bad one, but obviously keep it short. So,
Go on then.
good or bad? Do you want the good or bad? I can do the bad one. It's only quick.
Yeah, let's do the bad one and end on a good note.
Okay. It's called Squirrel with a Gun.
I mean, with that sort of name, it kind of gives me the crazy goat game vibe.
Right. Good thought, because
Right.
it is essentially. I wouldn't say it's a sandbox, but it's kind of there are levels, and you are a squirrel with a gun, and the gun is big, and you're a tiny squirrel, and so it's funny, and it went viral before it was released.
In a world of peace and tranquility,
This is SWAG Morning
homeowners will now hunt
are causing significant power outages.
A hidden truth lies beneath the surface. An ordinary rodent's fate is within his grasp. Now this squirrel is here to eat nuts and shoot some guns. And guess what? He's all out of nuts.
They've sort of shortened the title to Swag, SWAG, Squirrel with a
Like
Gun.
that.
So, they say, play Swag, and it should have been a hilarious game, like
the
Goat Simulator.
yeah.
Right. I mean, there's Goat Simulator 3 now, that's how good it is. But I really hope they don't make Squirrel with a Gun 2, because it was not... It is a sandbox. It is a sandbox. You jump, and to jump, your squirrel fires the gun below, and that go... And then up you go, and then you can double jump. He fires the bullets again, and
right, okay.
you can jump 8 times in a row because there's 8 bullets in the gun, stuff like that. So it's funny, but all you have to do is press buttons to open the next room. It's kind of it. It's so limited and boring.
The
It's
end.
such a funny concept.
So it is just a squirrel with a gun.
It's like, Ice Age that we watch all the time with little Theo.
Yeah.
Scrat from Ice Age,
His hero.
the little squirrely thing.
Yeah.
It's like that, but not fun.
It had so much potential, it sounds like.
You have to collect golden acorns. I mean, you can get an Uzi.
So it's basically, it is the Scrat.
Yeah. There's a grenade launcher. You shoot these weird Agent Smith-looking bad guys, like from The Matrix, wearing black suits, and then you kill them. I think that you can have an hour's worth of fun on this at the most if you can get through the really boring tutorial. The whole game is 4 hours.
Yes.
So I just
Yeah.
don't... It's on
And
Steam.
after, how far did you get through it before you ditched it?
I mean, I did the tutorial and I did the first mission, and I was really had enough by then.
Oh, wow.
It's on Steam. It's coming to PlayStation, Windows, and Xbox. In fact, it's just come out now. £15. It's getting a 1 out of 10.
So more, though.
More than Star
than-
Wars Outlaws.
Yes.
So, think about it. And it's cheaper.
So let's end on a positive then.
Legend of Zelda, right? Another Zelda game. And this one's called Echoes of Wisdom.
In a Hyrule, torn asunder, Zelda's sage wisdom is her greatest power in saving her kingdom. Create echoes, imitations of helpful objects, and felled foes. Traverse vast regions, challenge unknown evils, and use your wits to overcome obstacles in a story all her own.
So, if you ever played Link's Awakening, it's like the Zelda games that you might have played on the Game Boy. Mm-hmm. Running up, down, left and right. You can run diagonal in this one, though. The graphics are quite basic, quite blocky, fun graphics. It's definitely aimed at kids, this one, a younger generation. And Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch actually sold loads and loads of copies and was very, very popular. This time, instead of playing as Link, like you always do,
Yeah.
you actually get to play as Zelda,
What?
the princess.
Yes.
Now, that is a first. There is no other Zelda
Wow,
game
so
in
cool.
this series of games.
And that's a surprise, because you think by now you'd been able to do that.
Someone would have, given some of the rubbish games that have come out in the series, that, you want to play as Zelda. I mean, it's called The Legend of Zelda, so you shouldn't be doing The Legend of Zelda, but really Zelda's just in the castle all the time. It's like never having played as Princess Peach. You want to play as Princess Peach one time. So the story is that a rift in the dimensions is taking over the kingdom. There's like a purple... like in Stranger Things, there's like another world trying to break through with all purple and everything, which does make the game slow down a bit, which is kind of unforgivable given that the graphics aren't very good. Like I say, it's a sequel to Link's Awakening. The graphics are the same. What's weird about this one is that you start off as Link and you've got all these amazing moves like a bow and arrow and bombs and slashing the swords and stuff, and then you take over as Zelda. And this, I'm going to say something controversial now.
Here we go.
This actually is quite controversial. I think it's a little bit sexist what happens, because when you're Zelda, you don't have bow and arrow and swords and slasher moves and
Why not?
powerful moves. Instead, you conjure spells and you can create a pot.
But I want the slasher sword.
Well, I just think it's really weird. Your magic is your main event.
Look, if someone said to me, you can either conjure up spells or you could use the big slasher sword, I'd pick the sword every day. Every time.
It feels like you're faffing. When you're Zelda, it's like there's a bad guy.
Because obviously that's what girls do. They
but I kind of think... Look, I think there's an element.
She also
of
have
this.
a makeup bag as well.
Well,
an outfit change.
So if it's Link, at the beginning you play as Link, there's a bad guy, slash with the sword, dead. If it's Zelda, you go, let me conjure a copy of the bad guy, which then goes and fights the bad, and then I need to jump up over this gap.
I want to meet the developers of this game and ask them, how did they come up with this?
It's like, I need to jump over this gap. The way to do that, instead of just being powerful, I'm going to conjure a plant pot and then I'm put a bed on top of it.
I mean, we do love plants.
I mean, yeah. So actually, maybe there is something for you in this game. And then you jump on that, and I just thought, why am I faffing? When
that's what women do, obviously.
Look, I'm sure that it was not necessarily
that's a good point.
Intentional, but for the first Zelda game, to make the character feel weaker and less fun, and to have to sort of, I know you've got to do something different. You can't just make the same game and change the lead character.
Yeah. But give us something cool to work with.
Right. Don't make it that you can copy a plant pot. Make it that she's got, not bow and arrow, but magic that she can fire.
She's got vines that she can whip people with.
It's something much cooler.
She's got a makeup brush that can swipe someone's head off.
Anything is better than what they've done.
I should have written this.
But having said that, there is fun to be had. If you like the last game and you want more of a puzzler compared to like a hack and slasher, but it's going to be like a 5 out of 10. I feel like I'm disappointed for the first entry in the Zelda line that this was the tack that they chose. It's out on the Switch, by the way. It's £39. I don't know why. Very specific. £39.
Maybe they missed a pound off for the sexism.
Whoops.
Maybe it's more appealing to women because they know they get the bargain.
Wow. Well, that's it.
So many games.
It was good.
You have been busy.
Yeah, it's been a busy one, and now I'm tired. No, but now we're going out on the town, which is hilarious.
Yes, we are. We're doing a drinking simulator.
Well, I suppose. I mean, I don't know about the simulation part.
But how's it looking for the next month ahead? Have we got lots of games coming out?
There's
or is it a busy month or not?
Silent Hill 2 is coming, so that's a scary,
be a good one.
scary
That'll be a good one.
We've also got our yearly reviewer, Drew Miller-Hyman, who's back to play EA Sports FC 25.
That's another mouthful.
There's a few other bits and pieces, but to be honest, because it's the ramp up to Christmas,
exactly.
There's just a few more that are coming very soon.
I'd also like to see just keep an eye on how the PS5 Pro is doing as well. See if there's going to be a backlog of people waiting for that as well. If you
are interested in it, or if you've got it on the Christmas list, I'd like to know why. I'm not saying don't get it. I'm just saying, is it that you don't have a PS5 already? Is that what it is? You finally waited all this time for it to come in stock, and now they've got a new one.